The date, it's Paxton, sorry, it's Pax Marco. The date is December 12th, and I am going to point out some structures of the brain that I found doing the sheep dissection. So just so you know, the sheep dissection was a few hours ago, so I apologize that it doesn't look to be in the greatest shape. I tried my hardest to keep it as preserved as possible, but anyway, just know that going in. So I'm going to bring this down, and then I'll do my best to get as close as I can to the screen. So I'm going to start on this kind of like superior view down of the brain, and I'm going to start with the lobes. So first off, in the front here, we have our frontal lobes. Here down on the sides, on either side, are our temporal lobes. Above that and kind of behind the frontal lobe are our parietal lobes. And then in the back of our brain, behind the parietal lobes, are the two occipital lobes. I hope you can see that. Okay, next thing I want to talk about are they're called gyri, plural, in the sulcus. So the gyri are these ridges, or these kind of like little bumps on the surface of the brain. So I'm just kind of, this brain is a little old now, but you can see some bumps there. And then where they go down into the grooves, they're kind of this like dark stained color, some of them. Those are your sulcus, or those are the sulcus. So you've got these grooves and these ridges, which are your gyri and your sulcus. All right, next thing is the longitudinal fissure, which is going to run down the middle of the brain. And then in the back, better view right here, we can see our cerebellum. Now it's been cut down the middle with the mid-sagittal cut that I did, but you can kind of see it on the side too. So cerebellum, it means little brain. All right, now I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to start up here towards kind of the frontal region. So first off, starting with the olfactory bulbs, these are actually pretty big, and there's two of them right there. Behind that, we have two optic nerves. So the optic nerves run up to the eyeball region, which obviously isn't on this dissection. But when the optic nerves run back towards the back of the brain a little bit, they're actually going to partially cross, and there's this little X-shape kind of area, and that is called the optic chiasma. And then as they continue on towards further back in the brain, they become the optic tracts, and there's two of them. So there's two optic nerves, they partially cross at the optic chiasma, and then they continue on as optic tracts. Or the optic tracts are separate, but there's optic tracts that continue back, and there's one on each side. Okay, so behind the optic chiasma, I'm not sure if you can really see it perfectly in this video, but hopefully me describing it is enough. There's two little round bodies, they look like little round bodies, and they are called the mammillary bodies, and they're really close to the hypothalamus in this region. And then situated between the diencephalon and the pons, which are actually back here, is the midbrain area. And then, like I mentioned, we have our pons right back here, if you can see that. They're kind of two little roundish structures. And then right below the pons is medulla oblongata, and then below that is our brainstem. All right. Well, I think that's it. There were 16 things to name, and I think I hit all 16. So hope you enjoyed my video, and I look forward to your feedback. Thanks so much. Bye.